Welcome to Karen's World. Yeah. Hey guys, I'm back after a whole ass month, maybe even longer. So today's video, yes, you read it on the title, my son got diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. And I'm gonna tell you the story how it happened, how all this came about. So it was the 5th of August and I was on the phone with my mom, and my mom was like, hey, don't you think you need to get Ian checked out to just see if he has diabetes? He's been going to the restroom a lot, he's been drinking all the water. And I had noticed these things too, but you know, like, I'm very like anxiety, and I was like, you know what, I'm just imagining things, he's okay. But my mom called me that day and she's like, hey, you might just want to get him checked out just to clear our consciousness, you know, like just for them to tell him no better, basically. So I called the doctor, his doctor. I was like, hey, I want to check for diabetes. They're like, all right, just like, what time's good for y'all? And I was like, and they were like, the sooner the better. And I was like, yeah, you know, right, yeah, I want to know sooner. Like, we have an appointment for 4:30, if that's okay. Like, yeah, that's fine. I call Eric. I'm like, hey, I want to get Ian checked out, like, gut feeling, you know, like, I want to get Ian checked out. He's like, all right, let me just get home. Call his dad. I was like, hey, I know it's your day, but kind of want to get him checked out. If that's okay, you could pick him up right after. He's like, yeah, that's fine. I was like, cool. So we make it to the doctors, and they're like, why do you want to get him checked out? Like, why do you think he has diabetes? And I tell him, I'm like, you know, like, we've been noticing that he's been peeing a lot, drinking a lot of water. We just want to get it checked out, get it cleared, you know. And the doctor's like, yeah, no, I understand. She's like, well, he can pee on demand, you know, like on a cup. And I'm like, yeah. So they take his sample, his urine sample. She comes back and she's like, there's a lot of ketones, there's glucose in his urine. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, my heart already sank just by them telling me that. And then the doctor was like, you know, it doesn't really mean he has diabetes. It's just like red flags. We need to get his blood work tested. And they're like, well, we're gonna send you to Northwest. He's gonna get his blood drawn because it was already closed in their facility, the blood work stuff. She's like, we'll get his results, you'll know by Monday. I was like, okay. They send me the paperwork, and we're still in the room. We hear a knock. Another lady comes in. They're like, this is our diabetic doctor. Started crying. I was like, he has diabetes. And then they're like, we're gonna draw his sugar, test his blood sugar. They grabbed the little device, poke his finger. Sure enough, his blood sugar was like at 400. They're like, okay. They're like, we're gonna send you to Northwest. You'll have a room. We'll call them. You'll have a room. You're gonna spend 3 days there. They're gonna teach you how to care for a diabetic. And that's when our whole world flipped. Like, it was just, I'm even crying. It's a whole different ballpark, you know. Like, you went from having this healthy 4-year-old to diabetes, like a whole new territory. It was just, so I'm bawling my eyes out. I'm calling my mom, I'm calling his dad, I'm calling everybody that needs to know what's going on. I call my mom. I'm like, I guess you were right, Ian has diabetes. And my mom like freaking out. Call his dad. I'm like, hey, you're not gonna be able to pick him up, we're heading to the hospital. He's like, I'll meet y'all there. We ended up in the hospital, and yeah, they hooked him up to all these IVs, and that's how we found out Ian had diabetes type 1. And I'm fairly new to all this, but I know type 1, they told us that his something, like, not an infection, but like he got sick from a stomach bug or the flu or COVID. Don't remember when he got sick, but they said that when he got sick, whatever made him sick attacked his pancreas and made it stop working. So the pancreas creates insulin, which means Ian doesn't have insulin in his body because his body can't create it no more. So yeah, so we have to get him insulin shots, and it's crazy, guys. It's crazy. But that was on the 5th of August, so it was literally July, August. He was 4 years old for a month before being diagnosed with diabetes. And yeah, they told us we caught it very early though. Like he didn't have his breath didn't smell like sweet or whatever. His stomach wasn't tender. Like they told us we caught it like before it even got bad, before it was even red flagged. They told us, like, they were surprised. They're like, how did y'all know like this early on and stuff like that? So we caught it very early, which is the good thing. And yeah, we've been doing this for like 10 days now, because it's the 16th right now, and it's crazy. He's adjusting. He doesn't like being pricked in the finger, because that's how we have to check his sugar, and he doesn't like it, but he's getting better at it. And then the insulin shots, he takes them after every big meal, and he's doing okay. He still cries a little bit. Yeah, we're learning and we're powering through. And yeah, today was his first day of school, and I'll put a picture up here because he looks so cute. But today's his first day of school, and I went for lunch because I wanted to see how the whole system was gonna work with his diabetes and stuff, since they will be giving him 1 shot of insulin during school. And yeah, that's how we found out Ian had diabetes, and he doesn't understand why he has to get the shots, but he knows he has diabetes. He just doesn't know what it is. And he's like, it's because I have so much sugar, and in this case it's not, but that's how he understands it. Because type 1 isn't like type 2. Type 2 of diabetes is like, you see it mostly on obese people who eat too much sugar. When type 1, it wasn't our fault. That's what the doctor told us. It's like type 1 is just a luck of the draw, I guess. And Ian got picked, and now he has to be on insulin for the rest of his life, which is hard, but he's gonna live a normal life. He's gonna be like every other kid, and yeah, he's gonna live a long, beautiful life.